Hi friends! Welcome back to my craft time and Merry Christmas! I got 2 Christmas ornaments for you today. So excited. This is so cute. It's a scrap fabric Christmas tree. And I used real sticks, so it's a little slanted, but I love it. And then this second one is a paper ball decoration. So let's get started. All right, so for the first one, we're going to do the Christmas tree. So I have a stick, but you can use a straw or a new pencil, whatever you want to use, but I have a stick, so I'm going to use that. I have some scrap fabric from when I did a fabric pumpkin. And so scrap fabric is great. You can use ribbon that you have at home. Anything is fine. So I need some scissors. I need some glue. And I have buttons. I'm going to snag one for the top of my tree. So first, I'm going to cut this. And you want to do some thinner strips. It doesn't matter, they don't have to be precise, but since this one is checked, I'm going to go with each stripe on here. So I am just going to snip the end, and then I'm just going to rip it. Because I like the frayed part, just looks really cute. And so it doesn't have to be exact. And then I am just going to cut these strips. I'm going to cut, I don't know, about 4 or 5. So theoretically, this should rip pretty smooth. But if you like it more streamlined, you can always just cut it all the way, whatever you want to do. All right, I'm going to cut this little piece off. And see what I got. All right. So this whole thing was about 18 inches. You only need like 7, 8, 9. You know, it's not, it doesn't really matter. So 7's probably good. Since this is 18, I'm closer to 9. So I'm going to cut everything in half. Just like so. You have to cut this one again, or rip this one, something went wonky. So you'll probably want a glue gun to attach your top. That would be good, but if you don't have a glue gun, that's fine too. Elmer's glue would work, something like that. All right, that looks better. So I'm gonna cut this in half. Cut this one in half. So I'm just getting little strips. See, so you just see how a ribbon could definitely work with this too. Probably a fabric ribbon and not the paper ones, but you could give it a shot. Let's see what that looks like. But I have definitely seen them with fabric ribbons. All right. This piece is a little extra. I don't think I need that. And I'm going to use this tiny piece for my hanger, but you can just use another little piece of ribbon or wire, whatever you have at your house. All right, so now I am going to put it down in colors so I can alternate. Because see, I have striped mainly black and then the white. So I'm going to kind of lay it out and see how I want it to look. And I think I have like 9 pieces on my original one that I'm doing. All right, so then dark and light and dark and light. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I might use this as a topper, or I can use this piece as a topper. I mean, at the top of my tree. That way, let's do that. See what that looks like. So I got my stick, and I know I'm not going to use this top part, so I have little snippers. Make it a little smaller. Of course, I could use regular scissors for that. And then if you're not using a regular stick and you don't have like a knob, you want to glue your first one on so that all the rest don't just slide off. So all we're doing is tying knots. Super easy. So I'll shift this a little bit. I am going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. So I am going to tie a knot down here. So you want to tie your knot the same each time, just so it's consistent. So my knot actually is just once across. I don't have to tie it twice. And then you move your fabric so that they're facing the same way when you pull it tight. So I am going to put just a little dab of glue right here, just so that'll stay put. I'm gonna put it upside down for a second so I don't get it on my workstation. And then I'm just tying on the next one. So I'm alternating colors, light and dark. I'm making sure when I pull it tight in my knot that my right side of the fabric is up, is facing up. And that's it. Just gonna tie the knots. So once we get this going a little bit, I'll show you. But you have a choice on whether you want the front of your tree to be the knotted side, or if you want the front to be the smooth side. Whoops, I forgot one underneath. So on the first one I did that I showed you, the red and black one, it has the knotted side on the front. I just thought that was super cute. Whoops. So see, I'm off center. So I'm going to have one short end on one side, so that doesn't work. So no problem. I'm just doing a simple knot. So undo it. Do it again. So this, I think, is the cutest thing. Really easy. Everything you have at home. Can't believe I found a stick that was pretty much straight. That's awesome. I saw someone do this with paper straws and they were green. So her tree trunk was this light green. But you can only see like the bottom and the top anyway. But I like this rustic idea and simplicity. All right, we're almost done. Put this one on. So the pencil idea, that's not a bad idea, except you probably need to have some snippers or something like I have for if you do rose bushes or something, because I don't know how you're going to use a regular pair of scissors to cut through the thickness of a pencil. So you got to think that through. This is turning out so cute. Okie dokie. So remember, try to do your knots the same way each time. And before you pull it tight, make sure that the correct side of your fabric is facing up. And so you might want to decide which side you want to have your knots on, you know, like I like it with the knots. See this? the knots on the front. They just look kind of neat. But this is what it looks like. Maybe we can see better this way. This is what it looks like with the smooth side. So if you like the smooth side, then you might want to flip your fabric over and tie the knot with the fabric being opposite direction. So I started with the fabric, oh, here's my scrap piece. I started with the incorrect side of the fabric on the bottom, and then I made a knot. But if you want to, because I want to use the knotted side for the front of my tree. But if you want to use the smooth side, which is also very pretty, then you would start this way with the correct side of the fabric up and then tie your knot. You'll figure it out. It's really cool. All right, that's it. Now, we got to make this look pretty. If you want to, you can tie a full knot on here instead of just once across. It's whatever you want to do, however you want your fabric pieces to go. And it's not perfect. That's the whole point of it. It is rustic. So you just straighten those guys out, take a pair of scissors, and I'm just gonna roughly go towards the top of the tree with my scissors. Just like that. And I'm going to try to balance it somewhat on this side. But I'm not being particular that everything's like perfect because I want that rustic rough look. All right, get off there. Ta-da! Look how cute. I love it. Alrighty then. I only put one little dab of glue at the bottom so it won't slide down. I'm going to take my scissors again and cut off the very top, leaving space for my button that's going to be my tree topper. And then I think I'm going to take a little bit off the bottom. I think I want my trunk to be a little smaller. Then I'm just going to grab a button out of my button stash. Most people have a button stash. I think this one's cute. I like the size of it. And then this little tiny strip of extra fabric I'm going to use for my string to hang it on the tree. So I need to tie a little knot in there, cut the end off. You don't have to necessarily tie a knot if you don't want to. You can tie it around. Let's try that. I got too much anyway. Let's put it on here and tie a knot for this last one. And I'm going to glue my button on top of that knot. That's going to hold my hanging string on for me, and it's going to hold my button as my tree topper. Sweet. Then I'll tie it at the top. So I think I'll go this way. You could also flip it upside down from what I just did and just glue it underneath the button. That would work too. Alrighty, get my fingers in there. Got it. Ta-da! It's my button glued on. Yes! And that's it! Look how simple that is and how fun. So now I have a red one and I have a black and white one. So yay! That was fun. Alrighty. First craft down, second craft to go. This is just made out of paper. That's it. Paper and a little bit of ribbon for the hanger. And that's it. So this is not just regular paper. It's not like thin paper like that you would write on, or this is more of construction paper or cardstock. But what we're going to, so today with this one, I had leftover cardstock of a project I was trying to do, and it didn't turn out great. So it was perfect for me to get just a solid blue. But we're going to use Christmas cards. So, you know, the Christmas cards that we have left over from last year, or the ones that came in. I know it's a dying art and people aren't exactly sending a ton of them anymore, but all we need is 16 circles. And so I already cut them to save time. And these are some Christmas cards that I got in the mail last year, and then just some I had laying around in my Christmas storage. So what I did was I grabbed a cup, I turned it upside down and made a pattern on hard cardstock. Like it could even be like a cereal box or something. Just make yourself a pattern. This is probably just under 3 inches in diameter, so just get your favorite cup. This is a good size. I don't know that I'd go smaller unless you have a real small tree, and just it might be harder to work with if it's much smaller than 3 inches. So just get your favorite cup, set it down, and draw a circle, and that is your template that you're going to use. Unless you happen to have one of those punchers, those hole punchers, if you do picture albums and stuff, if scrapbooking, if you do that, then you can use that, of course, but I don't. So that's what I did, and I went ahead and cut out 16, and I placed my template on the card where I wanted to take pictures, the part of the picture. And a lot of the cards I was able to get 2 circles out of, so that's good. I didn't use actually 16 separate cards. So then, once you have your circles cut out, you need to fold them. So you fold them in half with the picture on the inside. So you're folding that in on the inside, you're creasing it. Now I just use my fingernail to crease this. But if you want to, you can use like the back of a spoon or your scissors that you use to cut them out. If you need something harder to push on. And before I did that, before I started folding like this, I put all my circles out on the table and decided what order I wanted them in, because I did have a couple that were off the same card, and I wanted to mix up those colors in my ornament. So I just put it in the order that I wanted it to go. And now I am creasing them just like this. It's working out really well. And then we're going to glue them. So you need some glue. So on my first one, I used hot glue because I thought, surely to goodness, that hot glue is strong and it's a good idea. And it is, except my hot glue is just general use. So it's not heavy duty. And so I tried to work really fast on this blue one. And so the glue wouldn't dry on me, but it was drying anyway. And then you know how it leaves the strings. And so I tested with some of these cards, just a regular old glue stick, because I don't have any Elmer's glue handy. So I tried a glue stick and it works great. So any of that should work. My first one's with a glue gun. It worked just fine. It was just a little trouble, but nothing major. This one I'm going to do with glue sticks. And then you can also use Elmer's glue or something. All right, so I have all my circles cut. They are all in the order I want them, and they are all folded in half. So now I am going to start gluing. So I am just going to put some glue down, match them up, and press. That's it. So as I'm adding them on, I'm just continuing to press down. To give it a little extra hold. just like this. I'm keeping it as a sandwich. See how easy this is? I always wondered what would I do with my leftover Christmas cards. I keep them until at least the next year. I didn't use any of the ones with like photos. None of this is photo paper. You know, some people take pictures of their pets or family or kids or whatever, and they send it out at Christmas. I like to do that, but I don't think that would make a great Christmas ball because it's so slick. I don't know how well the glue would stick onto that. So none of those I put in here. But also I have a sister who likes to make her gift tags out of her old Christmas cards. That's a good idea if you want to do that. It also helps you remember the next year, if you hold on to them, who you sent cards to if you don't keep a list. I tend to keep a list, but then I can't always remember what I did with that list. See how fast this is? Super simple. Here's my last one. All right, so while that's holding on there and staying glued, I'm gonna hold it down with my scissors. And I just have some little red ribbon I thought I would use for my hanger. So I am going to put this in the sandwich of my Christmas ball before I glue my ribbon in. So is that how long I want that? Yep, I think that's good. So I'm gonna kind of glue it together a little bit. Just a little bit of glue might help me out in my efforts. Oops. Alrighty. Now, I'll let that dry a second. And let's take a look. Look how well that's holding. Isn't that awesome? It holds really well, and that's just plain old glue stick. Now, if it starts popping up, it's super easy to fix. You just add some more, right? You just add some more glue. So, I'm gonna slide this in on the flat part right there that was created by my little circle halves. And then I just glue the two sides together. So I'm gonna add a little bit of glue on each side because it's got a lot to hold on to. And then you just meet them together. Press and hold for a second. And ta-da! Oh, shoot. That didn't work. Hold on a second. Maybe, let me open that back up. I better use glue gun on that. All right, so we just learned that if you use a glue stick, it goes well for holding them together. Guess what? I have that upside down anyway. Ha! I caught it. There we go. So if you use the glue stick, that should work very well, keeping your paper pieces together. But you probably want to use something stronger, either a glue gun or Elmer's glue or something, whatever you have, but something a little stronger than glue stick to put your ribbon in there, your hanger. So I just added, as you saw, a little bit more of glue in case it dried while I was fixing my mistake. Now my Christmas decoration's actually facing correct way. And look how beautiful. Now we're gonna stay together. Yes. Isn't that awesome? That's it. So you can do solid, you can do Christmas cards. I like the Christmas card one. I think that's my favorite. We made Christmas trees. Now you're all set to decorate around your house. So that's it. That's all I have today. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Merry Christmas.